right, happy Thursday, everybody. This is our reading video. So we will have just finished week 2, which is super exciting. And then, of course, we have the same things for reading groups going on. And we're starting a new story today for Open Court. This one, you guys should be pretty excited about. You guys should do pretty well on this test. It is only 2 pages long. Very, very short, 2 pages long. Now, I'm going to have 3 questions for you throughout this video. So I'm going to read some of the background information, and then you guys are going to tell me what you think it is. So first of all, the title is I Have a Dream. So my first question is, who is famous for saying, I have a dream? Who is famous for saying that? That's question number 1. Who is famous for saying, I have a dream? Okay? So here's some background information that you need to know. I'm going to be reading from my book like I normally would, so pardon me while I look down for a little bit. So there's a story before this in our book called The Grimsky Sisters. And these were real women who worked to end slavery, okay? So there's this person that we're going to be reading about continued the struggle, and they were working for equal rights for African Americans a century later. I want to know any information you have about people that did this kind of thing or anything like that, if you want to share any information via the chat. But my second question to you is going to be, what was this movement called? So slavery had already ended, but there were still people working to get equal rights for everybody, for African Americans, to end segregation and things like that. What was this movement called? All right, I'm going to keep reading on. At the time that this story, which is actually a speech, that should give you a hint, was given, many schools, restaurants, and public buildings were segregated with separate facilities for African Americans and white people. So they would have one school for African Americans and one school for white people. So in the 1960s, it was filled with social protests of all kinds. I mean, you had people that didn't want wars that were going on to be going on. You had people that obviously wanted to end segregation. There was a whole lot going on. So many of the demonstrations incited violence. So they encouraged violence from other protesters or from the police. They brought it on. However, on the historic date of August 28th, 1963, 250,000 people, that is 250,000 people, gathered to protest without any violence. Okay? So my third question to you would be, who else do you know of that was in this movement? So your first question today was just, when I say, I have a dream, who was famous for saying that? My second question was, this whole movement to end segregation and to give African Americans the same right that white American citizens had, what was this movement called? And then my third question to you is, who else was in this movement? I can't tell you what movement it is because that would give away the answer to number 2, but I want to know who else you think was in this movement, okay? So this is just a short introduction. Again, this story is only 2 pages long. I'm going to read it to you on Monday. On Monday. And then we'll be going from there before your test, okay?